From wildfires to racial discrimination to a rise of a new virus, COVID-19.
We have been through a lot these past few months.
But despite all these challenges,
our communities continue to strengthen.
Many individuals and groups took a stand to help their neighbors
and changed our understanding of what we call our community.
This is our community.
I think it means a lot of different things in different contexts, but for the most part, basically it's, I guess, a group of people that come together with common values or interests.
The Richmond community is everything to the Richmond Food Bank. Community is the lifeblood of our organization, and we wouldn't exist without the support.
Oh, it's really bringing people together. You know, we're stronger together than we are apart. And that's really what community is all about.
Community is everything to me. It's the foundation of our democracy. And to me, if you don't have an engaged community, then how can we have a thriving democracy? It's a sense of belonging. It's how you feel connected. Community means home.
I think community essentially means just, helping out one another, connecting with one another and just supporting each other throughout whatever difficulties you have.
To be honest, it's been weird. Work-wise, not a lot has changed for me. That being said, I've been quite fortunate that not a lot has changed for me professionally or work-wise or at home, but I think realistically, a lot of changes have occurred in just the way we live our daily lives.
I think what's really affected the most has been the social life for sure, connecting with friends, even family members as well.
Sort of a unique take because the pandemic has actually been pretty good to me. So I don't really have a lot of complaints. I got a job because of the pandemic, and I got to work exactly where I want because of the pandemic.
As you mentioned, I think it's rightly mentioned, school's more than about learning curricula. It's more than about simply completing assignments, tests. It's all the in-between things, the interactions with students. When students come into our school, sometimes they become connected and they feel a part of the school. Through connection with other students and some staff. And when you start to, when you make those connection points more difficult to attain, those students have a harder time being connected up.
Challenge, I mean, it's been nothing but challenges, right? Everybody needs it. Some people need it more than others because they're attending more calls in the bigger cities. But just keeping our personal protective equipment at a level that we can still respond safely is probably been the biggest challenge the department's faced this year.
I think the challenges, personal challenges, I would say, is just more on the isolation side. I think, again, as mentioned, living on your own is difficult, especially if you're only limited to a specific amount of group of people that you can interact with.
So over the course of the pandemic, I was faced with the worry of job loss because I had just started at the Canada line because of their new fleet expansion project. And by the time March rolled around, they had started locking down the entire Canada. And with it, the ridership had just, as the news said, had dropped significantly.
By 2020, kind of, I guess, personally for me, it kind of impacted my normal productivity because, I found myself kind of increasingly getting a little bit more exhausted, to put it lightly, than I normally would have prior years. Like, I don't have the capacities I did before to be able to take on multiple things at once and then just kind of do it. Now, I take a while to even, for example, get up in the morning.
It's been difficult for sure. You know, I just look back at the past year, and I think for many of us, it was unprecedented. It was something that we hadn't really planned that would ever happen.
What's so incredible about this group is it's created relationships with people in the community that you may not have normally had a relationship with.
Very proud of Richmond Women's Resource Center because we did a pivot really quickly where we moved it took us a couple of weeks, but we moved all our programs online. We took people who are new immigrants who didn't speak the language that well. We took people who are seniors, and we found a way to stay connected to each other.
I think it's been a really tough year. I think that everyone, from certainly from our students to our staff to our parent community, I think everyone has acknowledged that it's been difficult, and I think everyone has acknowledged that they're trying their best within, I think, sometimes a very challenging situation. I feel the saddest for our grade 12s who have basically lost so many potential things that they've been looking forward to since probably they started grade 8 and sometimes even before then. How are we? I think to answer that, I guess I can say is we're doing the very best we can, but I would suggest to you that none of us feel like it's good enough.
I guess the reason why I joined Convergence is to also really understand why I'm doing marketing and also kind of influence other people to really look deeper into what they are interested in. Seeing that there's an opportunity for students to really discover beyond the science, business, engineering, and arts type of faculties and the really long-term careers. I think there's a great opportunity that Convergence brings to students in the Lower Mainland.
You know, I think the motivation was that I wanted to look back on my life and realize that I was able to help people. There's something very rewarding in spending every day of your career helping others.
Motivations for helping high school students find their career passion is because I wish I had a mentor or a group that could have guided me in high school to just explore different career passions before committing to UBC Science and then having a set pathway and career trajectory. I wish I was able to explore different career options first to truly really understand what I was interested in and to explore my passions.
We want to show our passion. We want to show our willingness to work with others and to help. And we have so many new immigrants in Richmond, and they need a helping hand. I myself came from an immigrant family. I am an immigrant myself. So I personally feel like the Women's Resource Center does exactly that. We open up and we give opportunities to women who are starting over and women who just need a little helping hand, a little step, a little ladder to stand on for a little bit and then move on to grow themselves.
The pandemic has caused Convergence as well some disruptions, but I feel that we were able to branch beyond our initial plans because everything was virtual. We were able to connect with students beyond Richmond and tap into different career opportunities that may not be available to travel to Richmond to do a in-person conference or meeting.
The most unexpected positive thing has been the incredible outpouring of support that we have received from the public. We get cards, we get letters of appreciation, drive-bys. It's been amazing. It's been amazing that the public appreciates us so much. It's very flattering, and we greatly appreciate the outpouring of support.
I think for the organization, we had a chance to really buckle down and figure out what it is who we are, what we are doing, and how we are doing it. And because it all slowed down. And I think that was actually a positive. coming from a hyper person. So, you know, I was used to go, 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 go all the time. And I think that's what was happening with all of us. We were always on a treadmill trying to catch up. So I think that's a real benefit. Just made us all slow down a little and take a deeper look.
You know, I wasn't able to go out to a lot of different restaurants like I used to. And so I became a better chef out of the experience, which is really nice.
I think that we've really realized how resourceful people are, and sometimes all you have to do is ask. And so particularly I'm thinking of the nonprofits and the charities, you know, they were panicked, like how are we going to raise money? We can't have these big galas and big fundraising events, and yet they've managed to come up with even more money than in previous years because people have just dug deep into those pockets and helped wherever they could.
I think when you ask the questions to someone nowadays and you say, how are you? I think we're getting more honest answers than we would have ever had before. And I think that makes us, you know, a better society, that we don't just gloss over the fact that maybe we're not doing well and that we are reaching out to people to do these random acts of kindness.
I mean, either way I look at it, this is how we are now. So a lot of FaceTime, a lot of Zoom meetings, constantly on the internet every day, talking to people like you or providing education, or even with friends and family. This seems to be the way that we're all staying connected these days. And I think, you know, the more you do this, the easier it becomes, but it's certainly was awkward in the beginning, I found.
I think staying connected is extremely important during the pandemic. And for me, it's all been about using my phone and having those video calls, text messaging friends, and sometimes even having those social distance walks.
A lot of things. I guess I would have to say adaptability.
And the most important things is we need to change according to the situation.
I think what I've learned is to be resilient, be open to change, and definitely help others along the way.
Over the course of the pandemic, I've learned to appreciate what you have in this life and what you have now, because you never know when it's gonna get taken away from you. Like,
I'm looking forward to the day where we can have 100% of our students in our school. I'm looking forward to where we can have a lunch hour where students are hanging out, sometimes being silly and sometimes getting themselves into a little bit of trouble. Not that I look forward to that part, but it's just, it's to me, it's normalcy.
So in terms of convergence, something that I'm really looking forward to is actually having in-person events. I feel like with the pandemic and everything, we've sort of learned to adapt to doing all these things virtual, but there's something really missing that's present in face-to-face interactions.
I guess hanging out with friends and family, right? Hanging out, being social, being together again. I mean, I was gonna say Hawaii, but maybe the answer is hanging out with friends and family in Hawaii. Maybe that's the way I should go, just to cover my bases.
I think from an organization standpoint, we're really excited after the pandemic to be able to give more interaction to our clients. We're here to provide food for people. Food is a human right, but we're also here as a community. We want to give levity for people who are facing really difficult challenges in their lives for a whole array of reasons.
I think just hugging my parents and my family, I think I just really miss that ability to be close, connected, and not have that worry about a virus and hurting. You know, I think it's that freedom to connect and hold the people that I love so tightly. So yeah.